Stafford and Matthews, episode 14. As always, Joe Stafford, Chris Matthews, former Seahawk and Raven. Interesting week 13 in the NFL here, and it was definitely a surprising one on many accounts. Thursday night was pretty shocking for me, not going to lie to you. I'm sitting down by the Christmas tree watching a nice football game. You know what? I'm thinking the path to the playoff is still there. We're going to knock off the Rams. We're going to run the table the rest of the year. And that was quickly dashed as the Rams kicked our ass up and down the field. I think the final score was, 23-3, something like that. Something embarrassingly big margin. And Cam Newton threw the ball into the ground about 5 times, threw a pick six on a running back screen, which I really didn't think was possible, but I guess it is for Cam Newton. And Chris, your team had a tough week this week too. What did you hear from the 49ers this week?
Whoa, before you start on my team, let's talk about how Cam got benched as well. Let's not just breeze past that. Let's continue talking about this team that you love so much that only scored 3 points in a game.
But can you blame me for wanting to skate past it though? I tried to work it in there and try to make it onto your team and everything, but it didn't work out. We want to talk about Cam Newton. Well, the Lamar Jackson jokes when he was younger, when they're talking about him being a running back, not bad for running back. Yeah, Cam Newton's a running back at this point. He's more running back than Lamar Jackson is. He can't throw the football for his life. Pop Warner offense. And I know he deserves the bulk of the blame, but I will put it on Josh McDaniels a little bit as well. I mean, some of his play calling is just horrendous, especially towards the red zone especially. It's been embarrassing. I mean, you throw the ball literally, I think, twice in the red zone that entire football game. You run Cam at the middle 3 times, didn't work. Run him a 4th time, it's not going to work either. They went in 4th and goal, I think, twice there in the first half. It just didn't work out at all. Because teams are starting to predict this. They put 12 guys, essentially. They put the rest of their coaches on the field at this point because they're putting anyone they can in the box. And the Patriots, they're basically daring the Patriots to throw, and they won't do it because they know Cam Newton can't do it effectively, and he'll throw a pick.
And they don't have time to throw the ball either. Let's not forget about this offensive line that's out there.
I mean, I like their offensive line. I think Michael and Wenu,
I know you like it. It would fit you.
Okay. I mean, if I'm going to go to bat here about anything about the Patriots, I'll go to bat for that offensive line. I mean, Shaq Mason, Shaq Diesel's a monster off pulling edge. David Andrews is one of the most solid centers in the NFL. Joe Thuney is solid. He was a high trade commodity in the offseason. And Michael Onwenu is a guy we drafted in the mid-rounds this year. He's been balling out. I mean, if anything, criticize quarterback, receiver, tight end, but not offensive line. Give him a break.
Still got 3 points that game. Whereas it's a team that depends on the defense to make plays, scoop and score, and catch pick sixes and do all these amazing things that they do on offense, used to do on offense, and didn't come up to anything.
I mean, you're not wrong, and that's the tough thing that hurts me to say. And I really can't make excuses anymore because it's week 14 now.
Yeah, you guys are already out. I mean,
we're what? No, hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second. There's still a path. And there is. Technically, there's still a path. I actually have the graphic for you. I'll bring it up here because I was reading about it the other day, and I wanted to make sure I brought this on the show. So, okay. So how the Patriots can make the playoffs. First of all, they need to win out. From now on, they obviously they can't lose. They had to beat the Miami Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills, and the New York Jets. Attainable. It's attainable.
The only team that they can beat is the Jets. It's the only team that they can beat.
They were a fumble away from beating Buffalo, and they already beat Miami this year. So I don't want to hear any of that nonsense.
Yeah, but that was a Miami that was led by Fitzmagic.
True.
Not anymore.
I still have faith in them because also rookie quarterbacks stink against us. Justin Herbert's a hell of a lot better than Tua Tagovailoa. He stunk it up against us too.
It's the second time around.
Yeah, but again, like you just said, Fitzpatrick started that first game. Tua didn't.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the second time around of seeing the same defense again, and having information on how they already played them. You already know you play one team one time, you see them again, you're watching the film, we know how to correct things.
That's true. No,
the only team that doesn't have an advantage in this on this side is you guys, because you guys haven't played against him.
We've gotten worse. We'll say that. We've gotten worse. But I still am confident in Bill Belichick's ability to masquerade his defense in certain ways and make rookie quarterbacks cry. That's what he's done his entire career as a New England Patriots head coach. I mean, Justin Herbert's the latest victim to this. 45-0 was the final score here. He just confuses the hell out of these rookie quarterbacks. They're not veterans. He takes advantage of that. So I have faith in Bill Belichick to, lead us to victory against Miami. But let's look at the other variables here, because if we win out, that doesn't guarantee us a playoff spot in any way, shape, or form. This is what needs to happen. So Miami needs to lose 3 out of their next 4. So they play Kansas City, which they lost to, us, the Raiders, and the Bills. I'm confident they'll drop another 2 games. I'm confident in that. Okay. So
I am too.
okay.
I'm confident in that too. But these are a lot of stars that have to align.
Oh,
so,
no. I'm not even done. I'm literally a third of the way through what needs to happen.
I knew that was going to be it.
Oh, no, not even a shot. No, all right. So Miami, you probably check that off. That's pretty realistic. All right, the Raiders need to lose 2 out of their last 4. They lost against Indy this week, right?
Mhm.
Okay, then they had to play the Chargers, the Dolphins, and the Broncos. So you really need to lose one more game out of those 3. Probably going to be the Chargers, if anybody. And if it's the Dolphins, I guess that helps us a little bit too. So we'll go with that. That's possible as well. But the Ravens, this is the real pitch because they on Monday Night Football. First of all, shout out to Lamar Jackson because what a game-winning drive they both led against quarterbacks I've been very highly critical about as well. I've been highly critical of Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson, and they gave us a show on Monday night for sure. It was a classic game.
It was a really good game.
Yeah, for sure. It was good. It was good. And I was impressed by both sides. Lamar got the better of them because they just gave him too much time on the clock when Kareem Hunt scored that touchdown for Baltimore for Cleveland. But this needs to happen. So Baltimore needs to lose 2 out of their last 4. So they beat the Browns, so it's down to 2 out of their last 3. They need to drop 2 games across the Jaguars, the Giants, and the Bengals. So that's the most unrealistic expectation out of all of them.
Absolutely.
If they drop 2 out of 4, I'll run around naked like in the street for something. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But it's just like I have no idea what.
I'm still waiting on my jersey.
Yes, you are.
Sure.
Yeah, time out.
I got a surprise for you.
Time out.
All right.
Time out. All right, hold on a second. Chris, talk for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right, I got you. So we've been waiting for this jersey pick for a long time now, and Joe has just been trying to give me the run by. Hey, I got you this week. No, I got you next week. No, you know what? The week after that, man, I'm telling you, this is going to be a special one. So now we're sitting up here, we're waiting on Joe and seeing what he has to put on. And then, here goes Joe with the 81 49ers.
I'll give you a little tour here. Hold on a second.
Authentic.
This is authentic. Look at this thing. This thing's a monster.
It is nice. It is.
No, it's hard though. It's hard. If you guys are watching on YouTube, it's hard. Look at that.
Listen,
that thing's legit.
These are hard to come by because you know how long I've been trying to get a Terrell Owens jersey.
Well, you can go on Mitchell and Ness. I'm sure they have a couple in the waiting there, but
negative. I've already looked. I wanted because I like Terrell Owens. I wanted the Eagles jersey, all black Eagles jersey, and I wanted the 49ers jersey. Those are 2 that I really wanted so bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, like maybe you can take it off me or something, make a bet or something. We'll figure something out.
I don't know. It took us this long just to get
Yeah, that's true. I've been yanking your chain for a while about this. So that's fair. That's fair criticism. It's been a while. Well, the thing is, I was gonna wear it in California so what I was gonna do is I was gonna wear it on the flight, and when you picked me up, I'd be wearing it, and that was gonna be like the whole thing, to like the big surprise. And then of course, 2020 strikes again, and we had to cancel that trip and everything. But like I said, I'm kind of grateful I missed that trip because I avoided you roasting me on live television in front of SoFi Stadium while the Patriots getting walked. I avoided that, so that's good because if you guys have been listening for a while, if you guys have been listening for a while here, you know that Chris is absolutely ruthless when it comes to the Patriots losing. So, if we lost that badly on primetime television and we're there in person, I can't imagine the kind of just things that would shoot out of his mouth. I'd be.
Yeah, no, I'm going all the way in. If a train is going in one tunnel and coming out the other, and it has to go all the way. It has to go all the way through this windy road. That's exactly how I'm going. I'm going right down the middle, right through that windy road, and come out on the other end of that tunnel with some shit.
Fair enough. I mean, I can't say I hate the effort because the lengths you go through to shit on me is really impressive. It really is.
It's really creative though. I really be thinking about this as time goes on. I be having a couple jokes just waiting at the top of my head from the game, from the end of the game. Honestly, I hold it from the end of the game all the way up until we record.
No, it's funny because now that you mentioned that, if you guys didn't know, me and Chris go back and forth occasionally during the football games and everything, just to like poke fun at each other. And Chris sends me a lot of funny he actually knows. It's funny. Chris texts like a 45-year-old dad. It's hilarious. It's so funny. So some of the things that he sends me. Here's a little audio clip. That's his daughter, like, roasting the Patriots, I think, something like that. And then I sent him, like, my Fire Josh McDaniels merch, which is live on bostonsbig3.com, if you guys didn't see that. It was just funny. And then he texted me, Cam got benched with 12 question marks and then a Kanye West gift. So that was good. And then I said, Stid the kid. And then I got a response text. It's just a picture of his TV, 24-3, and him just saying, ha, 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 ha. You can't write this shit. It's just so funny. It's awesome. And I'm sure you guys heard that story a while back when we lost against Buffalo the first time. You just sent me the gif of Cam Newton fumbling. It was like, you see this yet? I'm like, yeah, Chris, I saw it. I was watching the game. No, it's funny though. We have a funny relationship like that.
It's solid.
Yeah, but anyway, all right. Week 13 in the NFL was a doozy. There was a lot of interesting games. Or week 14, I'm sorry. It was a lot of interesting games on the agenda here. Starting with Thursday night, I mean, we already talked about it a little bit, but Patriots-Rams, 24-3 is the final score. The Patriots moved to 6-7. The Rams advanced to 9-4 here. They're making a late playoff push in that wild card spot in the NFC West. Cam Newton, 9 of 16, 119 yards and a pick, no touchdowns. This is why I made the comment earlier about him being a running back, because that's exactly what he is. I'm sorry, that's exactly what he is. And it's becoming harder and harder to defend my team constantly on a live podcast over and over again, because I can't defend him because there's nothing to defend. Because since like week 3 or week 2, since the Seattle game, he hasn't been relevant as a passer. Yeah. It's really, really tough as a Patriots fan. Obviously, you grew up expecting excellence. I mean, I'm only 20 years old. I literally haven't been alive for a losing season. I haven't. I've not been alive for a losing season. It is special. It's definitely something to appreciate and to hold and to recognize and honor and everything. But I knew this day would come eventually. Since I was 15, my dad's been buttering me up saying, hey, this team's going to suck one day. You have to be ready for that. I said, okay, cool. I was like, yeah, whatever, Pops, whatever. And they won 2 more titles. I'm like, okay, yeah, he was just full of shit. Like, that's whatever. And then the day finally came. We're 6-7 right now, in serious danger of having a losing season. Although there's still a shot to have a winning season. It's not a likely shot, but there's still a shot. Definitely a culture shock for people around New England, seeing their team being just so successful and so just – placing the hierarchy of NFL success being so highly thought of. It's been a tough season for us here in Boston. But
give up your boy.
Yeah, it's tough. We lost our boy. But Chris, do you have any thoughts about the actual game, or are you just gonna roast me again?
Nah, man. I don't really have much to say about this game. And besides that, you guys suck.
Wow.
You guys suck. You guys gonna try again next year, probably suck again next year, because there's nobody you're gonna be able to pick up. Belichick's not gonna pick up anybody worthy enough to actually last on this team. What else do I got to say? Defense. Your defense is gonna come back next year. I think Hightower is coming back.
He's gonna retire. Like, I really don't think he comes back.
Think so?
I think he's done. I honestly do. You saw it last year. He was starting to slow down a little bit. Now he's opts out for COVID. That means he's pretty much out a year and a half.
Yeah.
He's 32 this year. Like, you don't want to actually come out of retirement, not out of retirement, but pretty much out of retirement. You haven't been practicing or anything.
He could be working out every day though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, go back to training camp at the dog days of August, have to go through another full season when your team isn't going to be good. Like, there's no reason for him to come back. If I was him, I'd retire too.
We all know that the NFL is not as hard as it used to be back in the day.
No, you're right. I'm just saying, but it's still
even Belichick can't even muster that up. Like, there's rules.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. I just don't see him coming back. I don't really see Marcus Cannon coming back. I think he was supposed to retire last year before COVID gave him an opt-out.
That hurts because I was ready to see him ball.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be out as well. And then, Devin McCourty, Jason McCourty are a package deal. It's 50-50, maybe even 40-60 that they even stay. It's probably favored that they actually leave and retire. And that's 2 cornerstones of the secondary. So it's going to be a tough offseason, I think. But hopefully we can actually get some talent in the draft. But God knows I shouldn't trust Bill Belichick in the first 3 rounds. So I'm trying. But hey, I mean, like all like the shit you talk about the Patriots, like who has a better record right now, the 49ers or the Patriots?
I think we do.
Nope, the Patriots do. You're 5-8 and you lost to the Washington freaking football team. So
Well,
I've heard enough out of
To
you.
Washington's defense, they've won their last 4 games against.
They have, but you can't be talking reckless shit about my team when your team's worse. Like you can't be saying that.
They're actually good, and we're still hurting.
Yeah, but I'm saying this year you're 5-8.
All right. You guys just scored 3 points this past game. Like that's pretty bad in itself in a whole season.
That's like the I know you are, so what am my excuse? That's like the comeback you have in 3rd grade. Come on, Chris, give me some.
It is, but it works in this sense because in what happened in the Super Bowl, did somebody get beat up in that Super Bowl? Barely come out with any points in that Super Bowl.
Who?
The Patriots.
What team? Which Super Bowl?
The last one they were just in.
Yeah, but we won.
They barely won. It was all off the defense.
Yeah, but
it was
we
never off
won.
The
but we
it was
won.
off the. It wasn't off the offense. And the reason why I say that is because you're talking about Belichick is the greatest mind ever, but Belichick didn't score any points.
Belichick is a defensive-minded coach. He was a defensive coordinator for years. He shut down the most explosive offense in the NFL.
As a head coach, and when you're the head coach, you manage both sides, all 3 phases. Honestly, you have to know all 3 phases. So,
you're right, but it was a chess match, and Belichick came out on top.
All right, man. I guess.
You get. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not a Patriots fan. Every time I look up, they're always doing something that's bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The last 6 months? All right, 6 months, 20 years of success. I'll take it. I will take the off balance there. But anyway,
I'm so ready for them to start having their streak of losing.
I'm not. I'm really not mentally prepared.
I am ready.
I'm not ready. Anyway, next game, Vikings-Bucks, 8-5, 6-7. The Bucks win 26-14. They've won 7 of their last 9 against the Minnesota Vikings here. Not shocking. I think we both picked the Buccaneers here, mostly because Kirk Cousins isn't capable of beating this defense. 24-37, 225 yards of a touchdown. No picks, but a very average day from Minnesota's leader on offense there. Tom Brady, 15-23, 196 yards and a couple touchdowns. Also aided by Ronald Jones, 80 yards on the ground for a touchdown as well. For this game, I think it came down to stopping Dalvin Cook.
Because he didn't make it no easier for Tampa.
Right. He had 102 yards and a touchdown. It was a solid game. But for his standards, this season, Dalvin Cook had a stretch where he scored 3 touchdowns, 200 yards consecutively in multiple games, in consecutive games. So that sets the bar there. And when you're playing a team like Tampa that is going to be in the playoffs, is going to have a significant shot to make a deep run in the playoffs here, you need to show that you can compete with these guys. And what you did is the opposite. You basically the Vikings. They basically showed me they can't compete with some of these.
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. No. Well, I'm just saying in general, the Vikings just showed me that that their style of football just couldn't hold up to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers standards here. Although I will say the Buccaneers are wildly overrated. I don't think they make a huge play.
Absolutely.
They don't make a huge run in the playoffs.
I think what's honestly, and I've said this before, but I think what saves the Buccaneers is Jason Pierre-Paul. Like every time I watch a game with him on defense, like he's setting the bar out there. He's getting sacks. He's getting the rush passes. He's getting tackles for loss. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always showing up on film, and that's what you want as especially as an NFL coach. You want your players to show up on film all the time, and that's what he does. He jumps out in the film. They're double teaming him. He's still getting off of blocks and getting in on plays. So. I think that's one of the main reasons what makes it easier for their defense to be able to hang in there is Jason Pierre-Paul.
And he's doing it with 3 less fingers than every other single NFL player has too. So that's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's pretty impressive. I miss the club. Bring back the club. I love the taped up nub he has. That's awesome. Just batting people down. That's an awesome.
Then he would have been able to catch that one pick a couple games ago. I think it was 2 games ago.
You know, it's funny that you bring that up because you talk about one hand kind of being the norm here. I was playing Madden the other day, And I have both Maddens from last year and this year downloaded, and I had Shaquille Griffin's brother, Shaquem, I think his name is, the one with he actually has one hand because he amputated when he was younger.
Yes.
And I caught a one-hit interception with him on his opposite hand. Like the hand doesn't have he doesn't have a hand on it. I caught it with that arm. So basically, like it was just like it had like the nub. It was basically caught like this. The animation was like this, and he caught the ball and stuck right there. And he was like running down the sideline with it. I don't know if that's offensive or funny. Like I really don't understand what EA was trying to do there. I don't know.
Well, I think it just shows that he actually has good hands. That's what it tells me.
Good hand, but yeah, I get your point. Anyway, next game here, Cardinals Giants. And honestly, I was kind of afraid of picking this game last week. I remember during the pick'ems here because the Giants knock off Seattle, and I would argue Seattle is a much better team than Arizona is, overall. And I would look at this game here. I'm like, if Colt McCoy can knock off Russell Wilson, he can definitely knock off Kyler Murray, who's been flailing the last couple of weeks here. But I guess not. 26-7 is the final score. The Cardinals get the W over the Giants here. Shout out to Hassan Reddick, too. We don't really talk a lot of defense on this podcast, but he had 5 sacks. Yeah. That is not easy to do. That's only been done a few times in NFL history. That's very, very impressive.
Wait, has Aaron Donald done that?
I know Khalil Mack has. I don't think Aaron Donald
Khalil Mack has. JJ Watt has. I don't know if Aaron Donald's done that yet. I gotta check that. I don't know. I gotta fact check that.
Yeah. Also, Marcus Golden, if you guys don't know who he is, he's like an edge player for Arizona. It's just like a ball hawk for a weird reason. Like he doesn't make a ton of impact plays. He just like finds himself around the ball sometimes. Like I think he has 4 or 5 fumble recoveries this year alone and a couple picks. It's like makes no sense to me. Like he's not like an impact player. Like he's a solid veteran. Yeah, like you got to have in the locker room and everything. But it's like somehow he always ends up like making the highlight play that he has nothing to do with. Like he doesn't strip sack the guy and then return it. Someone else strip sacks the guy and he just picks the ball up and runs it back.
Yeah.
It's just funny. I mean, like right place, right time. It gets you paid. I mean, I can't like knock the guy.
My dog Ladarius Webb always said, he's like, hey, man, my coach always told me one thing you'll get paid off of. If you're around the ball, you're going to get paid.
For sure. Also, I want to see you guys beef on a podcast because I've seen so many comments of you guys going back and forth about like receiver blocking stuff downfield.
Oh, me and Webb?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy is funny, boy. He's the ultimate. He has like the ultimate short man's complex. anytime we're talking about football, he's right there trying to shit. He's trying to shit on me, or I'm trying to shit on him.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah, no, let's have him on. I mean, we haven't had a guest in a while. Let's try to get somebody on. We got
we'll put something together.
Because I'm thinking back here because I know we haven't announced it to any of you guys yet, but we have like a few guys we've had in the stable for a while, just thinking about having them on and everything. We've talked to them and had discussions with them. A couple All-Pro guys, a couple Super Bowl winning guys. So stay tuned for that. We'll have some guys on pretty soon, I'm sure, and I'm confident we'll get that done.
You can't give them everything. We gotta leave some in the tank.
Yeah, we can't spoil them. We can't spoil them. They'd be stirring the pot too much.
You know what I'm saying?
But anyway, Tampa Buccaneers, before we move on here, I don't think they make it far in the playoffs. Tom Brady, I love you. Got a lot of love for you, but it's just like I just don't see it happening for you guys. Bruce Arians is not the coach for this team. He's lost the locker room. Even though they're winning still, he's lost the locker room, I think. He's been blaming everyone but himself. He's arrogant. He is not really a guy that you want leading a team, especially with a veteran quarterback like Brady, who they respect a hell of a lot more than your ass. You're wearing a Kenkel hat, dude. You're like 50-something years old. Tom Brady's 43, is a 6-time champion and knows how to win football games. You don't. So listen to that guy. And should have thrown him under the bus a couple weeks ago. He said that Brady's calling all the plays. And I'm like, there's not a shot in hell Tom Brady's calling 7-step drop, throw it down the field 12 times a game. It's not because his line isn't good enough. He's getting hit every other play. Like, he doesn't want to do that. Like, he's too old for that shit. He's not 23 years old anymore. Like, he can't be doing that to his body.
Yeah, I hear it. I think it's more – I think when he's saying that, I think it's more so of like line of how the line needs to block or where they're adjusting their eyes to. It's more so the problem that I think is that he's probably a part of the play that he's changing out there.
For sure.
But yeah, I think they'll probably make it. I think they'll probably go a little bit. I mean, they'll probably win a game just off of the sheer fact of who they are, who they have on their team, stuff like that. But after that, when it gets down to the meat, I don't think they'll be able to make it.
No, and people were talking about this because the Saints are going to make the playoffs, even though they lost this week. They're going to make the playoffs, I think, and they'll have Drew Brees back by that time, and they have annihilated you 2 times already on the season. It's not going to change in the playoffs. Like, it's not going to be a huge, crazy shift.
Kansas City?
Huh?
They have Kansas City this week?
I think so. What I'm saying is they lost this week against the Eagles in Jalen Hurts' debut. But what I was trying to emphasize is that they beat the shit out of the Buccaneers twice already this year with Tom Brady at the helm. Like, it's not going to change in the playoffs just because it's not like a snap of a finger thing. You know what I mean? Like, they know how to beat you. They're going to beat you again. So they see you in the playoffs, it's done. So it's lights out. If it's divisional round, you're done. One and done. That's it. It's over. So I want people to calm their expectations for the Buccaneers. Just settle down a little bit. You know, Tom Brady, yeah, but your team isn't complete without a great head coach. So just bring it down a little bit. Anyway, Dolphins-Chiefs next game here. And I was really pulling for the Dolphins to pull this one out. But 33-27, the Chiefs take the W and move to 12-1 here. And they clinch the AFC West with that win there. And early in the game, it was all Miami. Like, they had I think they picked them off 3 times. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes had 3 picks, 2 of them in the first half, in the first quarter. And the breakdown goes, Kansas City was up 14-10 at half. And then the doors went off in the third. They scored 16. Miami scored none. And then Miami actually scored 17 in the fourth, but it just wasn't enough to come back in this game. I'm pretty pissed at myself about this. So I'm in the fantasy playoffs, if you guys know. I'm the number 1 seed. I'm playing this kid Andrew Johnson, who grew up with me in Dorchester. And looking at this team, I'm like, it's gonna be a close game. All the good favorable matchups, and I didn't want to tinker with my roster. Number 1 rule with fantasy: just do not tinker with the roster. Stick with the guys who have got you to that place and just ride with them out the rest of the way. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay steadfast with this. I'm staying with this. I'm going to roll with it. I was like, okay, I'm feeling confident. And I have Mike Gesicki on my bench, and he has 2 touchdown catches for 25 points, something like that. And I started Evan Engram, who had 3 points for the Giants against Arizona. And I'm now down 27 points. And it's a 2-week playoff, so I still have a shot. I didn't need to win by more than 27 points next week. Mm-hmm. It's a tough margin to beat. Is it possible? Yes. I'm fairly confident I can do it. But it's just like, I'm pissed at myself, man. I'm disappointed in my football acumen. I have a football podcast. We are getting serious looks from serious people. Like we are an established podcast so far. We're 14 episodes in, but we're pretty good for ourselves. I don't want to brag or sound arrogant, but we're pretty good. We know our stuff. Mm-hmm. And for fantasy football, I have $200 on the line. Chris, I am broke. I am so broke. It's not even funny. I am a broke boy. I do not have any money. And I have $200 on the line here. I can win this thing. I'm the number 1 freaking seed. I should be winning this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm a game away from blowing it. I'm literally a game away from blowing it. And it's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. I cannot blow this game. I need this money. I don't want to pray about it because God doesn't have time for my fantasy football problems. He has better shit to do. But I'm saying I gotta figure my shit out.
Hey, listen, Joe, man, you got this, bro. Listen, coming from a guy who's first place in his fantasy team with first round bye that I just so graciously took this week, you have a chance, bro. I got to play against my brother this week, and I've already told you our little thing that we got going on. He always said, "Hey, man, if there's one person that's not going to beat me, it's you." And I've been trying to beat this dude for 3 years now. I've already lost to him twice this year, and now somehow, some way, he fandangles his way into the 6th spot, plays this week, beats one of my boys who usually averages around 130 to 140 points a game, comes out with 89 points this game, loses to my brother. So now my brother's playing me in the second round, and I'm like, how? The only way I can beat him is if I find somebody who's going to come out and play ridiculous, because I have his quarterback, but I have Patrick Mahomes, but he has Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, his 2 main weapons. So it's
every time you score, he scores.
You know what I'm saying? It's I have to find something to offset him. So that's what I'm going through. But I believe in myself, Joe. I believe in my team. I've been researching. There's a couple players. There's only one real player that I really want to get off the waiver wire, and I can't wait for it to free up this Wednesday, so I can pick him up. Hopefully I get him. But if I get him, I think I can finesse my way past this one.
Don't say the name, because I know for a fact your brother's trolling on the internet trying to figure out who
absolutely. No, absolutely. I know. I already know. Like anytime, but I mean, it's the end of the year. Most of the players is in, doing a little consolation bowl.
Yeah.
They're probably not gonna pick up nobody. They might actually drop somebody, even though it's against the rules. But they might actually drop somebody. So hopefully, I can just slide in and pick somebody.
Did your brother play football?
Did my brother play football?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did?
yeah. So funny story is that I'm gonna keep it short, but we knew of each other throughout high school because I was a good player. He was a good player. We went to two different high schools. We ended up going to the same junior college, Harvard College, and we end up playing the same position, the X receiver. So we go out through the year. First couple games, we go back and forth on who's playing who. He turns around, gets hurt. I come in the game. I bust off like 9 receptions, 130 yards, and 3 touchdowns that game. It sealed the deal for me being the starter of that team. And I remember throughout that whole year, like before that game happened, I wanted to fight him so bad. Like I was really at the point where I was like, you know what? Like I don't want to make this sound bad, but I was trying to figure out a way to get to him where nobody else would be around, and we was just gonna fight it out, just like in a dark alley. Let's just say that we was gonna fight in a dark alley, and it was just gonna be me and him. So, and then we just come out of nowhere of like now we're like brothers, you know what I'm saying? It's like my right hand man. It's a crazy story.
Damn. You have some family problems, Chris. Jesus.
Yeah, no, for real. Like I really, my brother's very he used to be conceited, but now he's more confident than conceited now. But he used to be very, very, very conceited. And I was more of a reserve player. Like I don't like everybody knew that I was good coming in, but I wasn't boasting and I wasn't, showing off. Like my brother came to practice one day with some with some tights on, no shorts, a t-shirt, an umbrella with a with a lawn chair, and posted it up on the side. Like my brother is like on another level of like conceited. He was. So there's just a little breakdown of like how much like he got on my nerves.
That's actually really funny. I'm not gonna lie, that's really funny. Back to the game here, though. Tyreek Hill was the star of the show. 1 rushing attempt, 32 yards and a touchdown. That was a crazy run. This showed how fast this guy is. And receiving, 3 receptions, 79 yards and a touchdown. This dude just, like, anytime he touches the ball, he scores. I swear to God. Like, he does not need that many targets. Like, he needs maybe like
they ran a play action, and literally he just ran a post, and all he did was dive down 5 yards, push up for 15, and then ran around the safety and the corner. Like that's how much speed this guy has. Where he's not even sticking. He just ran around these guys and got open.
He had 168 yards. Hold on a second. No, that's not true. He had, I'm bad at math, like 112 yards, 2 touchdowns on 9 touches. Like what?
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. That's asinine. That's insane. Like he scores from anywhere on the football field. I swear to God.
He's having an amazing career right now.
Yes, he is, for sure. And Miami wish they could get that game back now. It makes it harder for them to stay in that wild card spot. The Patriots are a threat to take that, but more realistically, it's probably the Ravens or the Raiders to come in there and swoop that spot away from Miami here. They have a tough schedule. They have to play Buffalo again. They have to play the Patriots again. They have to play the Raiders too, which I guess would be an automatic win for them if they want to get in the playoffs with the Raiders. But just a crazy situation for Miami now. We'll see if they can actually pull it off here. I'm not really sure if they can keep that wild card spot. I think they're kind of inexperienced right now. They're a couple years away from being a very good football team. Like they're probably 2 or 3 years away from being Super Bowl contending. Because if they had their draft picks right in the next couple of years, they signed some quality free agents like they did this past offseason. There's no reason they shouldn't be successful. Brian Flores is a good coach. I trust Brian Flores. They have a good defensive structure there. Flores comes from a heavy defensive background from New England, and he's an aggressive coach, which you need to be successful in this NFL league here. So Miami, a couple years away. not sold on them keeping this wild card spot, but keep your head up if you're a Dolphin fan. There are good times on the way.
No, I don't believe that. If you have to wait 2-3 years just to get good, you're done with, because the game evolves so fast. Like next year, you'll have a whole new span of rookies who's probably going to come out and ball and change the game up. So, they need it right now. So by next year, they should be contenders in the playoffs.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I mean, they're contenders now. I mean, like they're in the wild card.
Yeah, but it's not. But we technically on paper they are, but in the grand scheme of things, in our eyes of what we see of them playing against the next couple games that they have, we know that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think you're probably right about that. All right, Jacksonville and Tennessee. Tennessee takes W. Nobody's really shocked by this. 31-10 is the final score. Jacksonville falls to 1-12 in the season, and Tennessee improves to 9-4. So Jacksonville, the first drive of the game, they actually get in a field goal range, and then they get their field goal blocked. Mm-hmm. And that was the beginning of the end, and it was the first quarter. It just went downhill from there. Ryan Tannehill had a pretty good day, 19-24 for 212 yards and a couple touchdowns. And Derrick Henry, who I think now can be pronounced the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, because anytime he faces this team, he runs all over them. 26 carries, 215 yards and a couple scores, 8.3 yards a carry. This dude fell forward for a first time every time he ran the ball. Every time. That's insanity. That's crazy. They were running flea flickers against this team. Flickers. Literally, like some high school, college bullshit. Like they were running against a professional football team. And
it's funny you say that, right? Because I remember somebody that was on the Patriots team that ran a lot of flea flickers, but that's neither here nor there.
You just had to say that? Like you just had to sneak that in there? Like, it's just like, dude. Like it's funny. It's funny, guys, because Chris literally made millions of dollars over his career. Millions of dollars. He lives in LA, has a nice cushy house, has a great podcasting job, and he still takes time out of his day to make me suffer. Like it's amazing. It's crazy. I don't know if they feel like honored or just confused. Like I don't know what to think about this.
You gotta have some fun up in here, man.
I got you.
I'm not changing for nobody.
I'm just fooling around. But yeah, Derrick Henry owns the Jaguars. That was not really needed to be said, but I like to say it anyway because it makes me feel better about myself.
I need to pick him up and sign him.
For real. AJ Brown, 7 receptions. I'm with you. AJ Brown, leader on the day, 7 receptions, 112 yards and a touchdown on 9 targets. Yeah, just a dominating game for Tennessee. I did like seeing Gardner Minshew back out there on the football field. It was nice to see the stash back out there. I like that guy. I'd rock with that guy. He's a fun, charismatic guy to have as the head of your football team. And didn't have a bad day. 18 of 31, 170 yards and a touchdown. I mean, for not playing in 4 weeks, it's not a bad stat line. And considering what team you have around you, it's not a terrible stat line. I really do hope they look to trade him in the offseason because I would take him in a heartbeat in New England.
Yeah.
A heartbeat. Snap of a finger. I take it. And it wouldn't cost you much. It'd cost you a mid-round pick, if that. 5th round pick. You're gonna trade that a long snapper again in the 5th round? No, just trade it for Gardner Minshew. I'd take him in a heartbeat. It's better than what you have now. Gardner Minshew is better than Cam Newton as a passer. Yeah, I'll say it. That's a better question. I'm not sure. And people want to make fun of that. And people want to make fun of that. And it's funny, but say what you want. Stidham's tape this year hasn't been bad at all. I mean, he threw a touchdown pass a couple weeks ago. And almost had more yards on that reception. Did they win? He was there. No, not against the Rams, against the Chargers. Same stadium, different outcome.
No. I'm saying, did he win this week?
He did not win this week. No.
All right. So
did Nick Mullins win this week?
Make sure you add that in there when you're talking about your team.
Did Nick Mullins win this week?
But he definitely threw better than Stidham.
That's not what I asked.
He threw the ball extremely better than Stidham.
That's not what I asked.
Like top level athlete to get paid level.
That's not what I asked, Chris.
But I'm just trying to we're trying to make comparisons. And
can I get an answer though?
Stidham was throwing the ball on the ground at 5 yard with route runners who's running the routes at 5 yards, and my guy Mullins, he's throwing the ball 25 yards on digs between 2 players, you know what I'm saying, or tight coverage, and they're making catches because we're just good like that.
Can I get an answer though, Chris? Can I get an answer?
What?
Did they win this week?
No, we didn't win.
Point blank, period, exclamation point. This conversation's over. Chris, conversation's over, Chris. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Conversation's done. Over. Anyway, next game on the agenda here. And this is what screwed me in fantasy. This is what did it. 30-7. The Dallas Cowboys just smoke the Bengals.
Yeah.
17 points on defense for fantasy. That's what screwed me. 17 points? Really?
It was
17?
It was a hard game. We knew that was going to be a hard game picking it. So, I mean, I knew that something was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to be 30-7.
Yeah.
Think of that. I thought it was going to be a lot closer game, like a 12, like a what? 13-21 game. That's what I was looking at. 30-7.
It was definitely not expected for sure. It was definitely an interesting dynamic to see since you get their doors blown off by a really bad Dallas Cowboys team.
Got them a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, like this team is both of these teams are just unfulfilled potential this year. Dak goes down early for Dallas. They go on a losing streak. Joe Burrow goes down for Cincy. Not like they were like competitive anyway for Cincy's sake, but it still would have been a good game if it was Burrow versus Dak. I'd watch that game. That's an exciting game. I'd watch that 100%. But definitely was hard to watch this game. Andy Dalton, to his credit, had a pretty good day. 16-23, 185 yards and 2 touchdowns. Zeke Elliott, who I've been hypercritical about, and I still am hypercritical about because he continues to prove me right. 12 carries, 48 yards, no scores. That's why. That's why Miles Sanders is better than you this year. Miles Sanders in 2020 is better than Ezekiel Elliott. I said it week 2. It continues to be true in week 14, okay? That's all I got to say about it. I've gotten so many DMs from Dak.
You was about to go on a little rant right there, huh?
Oh, I stopped myself because I've gotten so many goddamn DMs from Cowboys fans on this podcast. And just like, oh, Zeke's better than Miles Sanders. Oh, really? Show me. Because you're 4-9. You were supposed to be the division winner by a long shot. He has less than 1,000 yards in the season, and Miles Sanders just kicking his ass up and down the field in terms of production. And Miles Sanders has Carson Wentz.
Miles Sanders only got by because of that last run that he had, where I just couldn't figure out for the life of me why couldn't nobody tackle this man when he went straight through the trenches.
No. I'm not saying just like this week. I'm saying overall in the whole season.
Oh, overall.
The whole grand scheme.
No, I think Miles Sanders has definitely proved that he had a better season.
No, I'm glad you come around to my side here because I said it.
I am.
I said like week 2 or something. You gave me so much shit for, but I'm glad you converted a little bit. You came over to
Elliott, man. He's a guy who we've watched since Ohio State days where he was killing it, and now you're sitting here. You know what I'm saying? You fought to get a contract. You finally get the contract, and it's like, all right, now. You know what I'm saying? With this money, what do you do with it? Are you going to put it in and develop yourself to get better? And you didn't. You got to get back to where he was. We need you to get better.
For sure. And I think that production will return as soon as Dak Prescott does. I mean, it's a yin and yang thing. One needs the other needs the one. You know what I'm trying to say? It's
That's crazy to even think about, but all right.
You don't think they both need each other? I think they do.
No, absolutely not, because he gets the ball. Ezekiel Elliott gets the ball like that. It's on you to make the plays now. Like, it's not on the quarterback to make sure he hands the ball in the right position for you to make this run.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm commenting more on the defense stacking the box, making run-heavy decision-making in their huddles here, because when you have Dak, you have to worry about downfield throws because you have 3 elite receivers. You have CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper.
Mid-level.
No, Amari Cooper's elite. You can say he's elite. Michael Gallup's a great jump ball guy. CeeDee Lamb's a rookie, but he looks phenomenal. I mean, that's how I look at it. But it's a different story when you have Andy Dalton. CeeDee Lamb's been pretty good this year.
He's been okay this year. Who's been pretty good is his boy Justin Jefferson.
No, I'm with you 100% there. Jefferson's been better than
that's
CeeDee Lamb.
Good.
Yeah.
What CeeDee is doing, I'm still trying to figure out why Cowboys let him get 88.
Well, no. So Jerry Jones made him take that number. I heard that story.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like a lineage thing. I don't know. They had Drew Pearson first, the Godfather, 88. Then Michael Irvin, then Dez, and now CeeDee Lamb. I mean, like, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to have that lineage and that legacy go down by a number, but it's like if you pick the wrong guy to have 88, you are screwed, my friend.
That's what I'm saying,
like,
bro.
you are screwed.
Don't do that. Like, you had a real bloodline going with that 88, and it was raw.
Mm.
And then you turn around. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just don't think that he is worthy enough to wear 88. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
It's gonna take some time. Like he could probably fill it out within a couple years, but right off the bat, no.
Yeah. Did you hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Who took your number after you left Seattle?
I don't know. I don't
You
even
know?
think it was even. Oh, so honestly, the number is supposed to be cursed in Seattle. It started back. What was it? 2010, 2009, 2010 is when I guess somebody, I forgot his name, he had said something about Paul Allen, and Paul Allen was in the locker room, and Paul Allen, I guess, laughed about it, but went back, and the next week he was cut. Like he got cut from the team, and it was like it was a curse. Everybody else who took the jersey ended up getting the same treatment of getting cut. Within a couple weeks of having the jersey, and the only two players who kept it long enough was me and this guy named Phil Bates.
That's a pretty cool story too. Also, another thing you would never get anywhere else besides this podcast. Like anywhere else, there's not a shot someone wrote about that. Like there's no way that someone actually wrote about that story. That's us. That's only us. This is exclusive content.
Stuff. I mean, I don't know. Somebody could have it. Somebody could have it right now, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a popular number.
Right. There we go. All right, next game here. Back to football. Texans Bears. This was a holy shit game for me. 36-7 is the final score. Chicago puts a whooping on the Texans. Deshaun Watson was sacked 7 times. 7. That's duress. That's literally under duress. And Mitch Trubisky, of all people, 24 of 33, 267 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let me ask you a question. Is that more of a commentary on how bad the Texans defense is, or how lucky he got on this one day on Sunday? Is this luck, or
I don't call it luck, and I don't want to say how bad they are, but it was just that time. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those games where anything can happen on a Sunday, and you know you take some teams lightly. That's what happens.
Yeah,
but I mean, Khalil Mack had an amazing game though.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And you obviously on the offensive side of the football, Allen Robinson, who is just disrespected. He's a top 10 receiver in my eyes.
No, absolutely.
9 receptions, 123 yards and a touchdown. Just dominated this Houston Texans defense.
Top 15 for sure.
Top 15, arguably top 10. I'll probably put him top 10 for this season at least. And David Montgomery, the running back, who's been kind of disappointing considering the expectations they had from his rookie year last year, but came to play today. 11 receptions for 113 yards and a touchdown in wake of Tariq Cohen going down with a torn ACL. So say what you want, but he had a good day as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, great game for Mitch. Tough day for Deshaun, 21 of 30 for 219 yards and a touchdown. No run game still. Their leading rusher, his name is Buddy Howell. Who the hell is Buddy Howell? Who? 42 yards on the ground. I mean, like, not a bad day on 11 carries, but it's like, dude, like, give this man some help. If I'm Deshaun Watson's agent, I am scanning every line of the new contract extension to see how the hell I get out of this place. Every line. Because there's not a shot if you're Deshaun Watson, you want to stay on this team. You're 4-9 and have been dismantled by a lot of bad teams.
Or he could, instead of looking for a way to get out of it, he could look for a way to adjust it and give more money to them so they can go out and get him some more help.
Yes.
I'm just saying, man, once you become a millionaire, it doesn't matter what number you're at. You're a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? It's after you get the money is what you do with it afterwards. But
yeah, no, you're right. It's so hard to tell with some of these younger guys because the loyalty thing is not there. It used to be there. It used to be there, but it's not there anymore. He is what is he, 25 this year? A 25-year-old superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Is just signed an extension with a bad team. How many times have you seen this story before where they hold out of camp, they try to get traded, they try to get more help, they try to get more money? So I'm just saying, don't be shocked.
It's a little bit more rare for a quarterback to do that, but it happens a lot with other players.
Yeah, just don't be shocked if Deshaun Watson decides to make a statement here in the offseason like, get me more help or I am retiring or something like that to get out of this contract.
That would be crazy. And if that works, you know how crazy the rest of the season is going to be. I'm just thinking of other players. Aaron Rodgers. Who else?
Honestly, but the thing is, I don't think the NFL would allow that to happen. Like, I think the owners would get together after you retire and made a pact, like an agreement, like no one's going to sign him, like they did with Colin Kaepernick, kind of. Yeah. Where it's like, if they set that precedent and he comes back in the league and balls out, every player will just do that. Mm-hmm. Every single one. That's just what they'll do. So,
absolutely.
Can't be doing that shit. Anyway, next game here, Broncos-Panthers, 32-27. The Broncos take the W. Drew Lock 4 touchdown passes. And this is finally what we were expecting to see in the offseason here. Drew Lock actually coming into his own and becoming the quarterback that the Broncos needed him to be. Mm-hmm. KJ Hamler, the rookie receiver here, 2 receptions, 86 yards and a couple scores. Jerry Jeudy only had 2 receptions for 42 yards, but still had an impactful game on the outside for the Denver Broncos here. Obviously, we talked about it a lot on this podcast. This season for the Broncos has been a lost season. You have Phillip Lindsay go down for, 5 weeks. Melvin Gordon goes down for 2 weeks and has a DUI. Cortland Sutton tears his ACL in the second week of the season. Mm-hmm. Drew Lock goes down for a couple of games as well. It's like, is this the year for the Broncos? It's looking like no. And it's still not. They're 5-8. It's not a great record by any means, but these games against, quality, I'll say quality opponents, including Carolina in that discussion. These games for Denver are important for next season when they have full strength, when they hopefully don't deal with as many injuries, when they'll invest in the offensive line. People had the Broncos considering a quarterback in the first round here from mock drafts I've been reading. I don't see it. They give Drew Lock at least one more year. And if they do draft a quarterback, it's not going to be in the first round. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be in the third or fourth, maybe even fifth round. I can almost guarantee you, barring something significant, they will not draft a quarterback in the first round. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, if anything to pick up, I would try to pick up another wide receiver or maybe a outside linebacker or a DB. That would be more of the route that I would take with them, and let Drew Lock and the team, work their chemistry together another year.
I have them taking Caleb Farley, the cornerback out of Virginia Tech, on my latest mock draft.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like they probably need to beef up that defense just a little bit more.
I would. I mean, AJ Bouye just got suspended for PED. I'm pretty sure that's longer than the season suspension lasts. He has to get reinstated off of that. So there's going to be a hellhole just trying to get that secondary back into shape.
Yeah,
with him being suspended.
They just need to let him live a little bit more. You got Hammered who's coming into his own, skin. Then you just have Spencer break off a special teams, a hell of a special teams running. You can see that he has speed. You want to use that as well. So we'll see.
For sure. Next game, Jets Seahawks. It was 40-3. That was the final score. And honestly, this was my saving grace because the Patriots game wasn't the worst blowout of the week. Yeah. It was this game. Yeah. So thank God for the all right, actually, first time in my life I'll say this. Thank God for the New York Jets. That's the first time I've ever said it before. Thank God for the New York Jets. They continued their losing streak. They are now 0-13. God, 0-13 on the season. And Seattle improves to 9-4. Do you want to talk about this game? Like I don't want to invest my time in this.
No, I don't. I mean, we just got to give our praises to Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, 12 for 69 in the tub. What else? DK Metcalf, 6 receptions for 61 yards and a touchdown off of 8 targets. Tyler Lockett, our boy, 5 receptions, 52 yards, no touchdowns off of 5 targets. We just want to give our flowers to a couple guys. And you got Jamal Adams setting records, or tying records.
It was 8.5 sacks, most by a defensive back in NFL history for a season.
And it's a couple reputable players that's a safety that's on that list that he's topped.
Yeah, but it's just like this year, I want to make sure I'm not being insulting because I like Jamal Adams a lot.
Two different teams.
So it's impressive. What I'm just trying to say is that like he's been disappointing in Seattle so far. Like he has been.
I just think that it's they need to have a full offseason with him.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't think he did bad. I just don't think it lived up to the expectation that they got.
That's what I'm trying to say, 100%. I think we're on the same page there. But also, Russell Wilson to bring up here, he found 9 different guys for receptions this game. 9. That's the mark of a good quarterback.
God, he could have done that when I was there.
Yeah,
just still be there.
It's just crazy. Sam Darnold, 14 of 26, 132 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Just the most pedestrian stat line of all time. Just horrible. Horrible. Braxton Berrios, their number 1 receiver, for 49 yards on 3 receptions. It's just like this team just blows. This team stinks out loud.
It sucks.
It sucks.
It really sucks because it's like Sam Darnold is. I would want to know what Sam Darnold is thinking when you know that your team is actively taking the season to get you out of there, so they can somebody else. It's like
that's gotta hurt the ego a little bit.
It does, but I mean, I just feel like I would want to see him like ball his butt off, at least get a win, maybe 2 to mess up their chances, and prolong yours. It doesn't even have to prolong. You could just be playing your ass off and giving your resume, putting your resume on film for 31 other teams.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. But I think they picked up anyway. I mean, like the pedigree's there. He went 3rd overall a few years ago. Yeah. You've seen flashes. It's the curse of the Jets, man. I mean, this is just a horrible franchise to be stranded on a desert island with. Given no help, no weapons to throw to, bad scheme, horrible head coach. My weekly segment rant on how badly Adam Gase needs to be fired. Needs to be immediately. Should be like by the time I finish this sentence, but he won't be. You really fired Greg Williams over 1 bad play. That's neither here or there. Next game, Indianapolis.
Wait. Hold on. Because I had to look it up. And you said 9 different players got to touch the ball for Russell Wilson. I said I wish he'd have thrown that much if I was there. It makes me even more mad now, the fact that years have done passed, and I've been up there working out at UCLA with him and a couple of other guys, and he always looks at me like, man, you look good, man. Like, you still playing? I'm like, no, I'm not playing. You know I'm not playing no more. You out here throwing the ball like this. You see me catching the ball, talking about I look good. Like, I've been doing this. You just never gave me the shot.
Content idea. Let's go to a UCLA workout with Russell Wilson.
Let's go. I mean,
that's a great idea.
It don't even have to be him. It could be Joe. You go out there, you'll see some players that you probably wouldn't have thought you would have seen out there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. That's on the agenda. We'll put that on the agenda for the summer. That's awesome. That'd be dope.
Keep it down low.
There we go. Keep it down low. Except for you guys. We love you guys. Anyway, Indy and Las Vegas. 44-27 is the final score here. Wow. 44 points on any team is impressive, but especially on the Raiders here, much needed for the Colts to solidify their place in the playoffs here. But Phillip Rivers, 19-28, 244 yards, a couple scores. Jonathan Taylor, who we are big fans of, 20 carries, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, 7.5 yards on the ground per carry. Your boy T.Y. Hilton, 5 receptions, 86 yards, and 2 touchdowns on 7 targets. He balled out, had a great day on Sunday.
Yeah.
And the Raiders just didn't have it today. Josh Jacobs was questionable all week. Was a game-time decision. He ended up becoming active for the game. Only had 49 yards and 13 carries. It was a very bad game for his standards. But one guy who did shine, and I'll never understand this, Nelson Aguilar, 5 receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown. Like, this dude couldn't catch I need a better analogy than this. He was Butterfingers in Philadelphia. That's essentially what he was. He couldn't catch a football to save his life. And now he goes to the Vegas Raiders and has his best season by far. I think he's close to 1,000 on the season. It's just like, are you kidding me? Like, what? Nelson Aguilar is your number 1 receiver now?
Change the scenery. He's always been a hard worker.
I guess so, but it's just like I was shocked. And I always looked at him, especially when he was drafted, I'm like, this is just an athlete playing football. He's not a football player. There's a distinct difference between that. I think in every sport. You see athletes who are playing the game to play the game. You see players that belong in that sport.
Yeah.
For instance, the Celtics, right? Celtics are playing their first game tonight. Jason Tatum is a basketball player. Jaylen Brown is an athlete playing basketball. That's the difference. You guys want to look into the tape there. But there's neither here nor there. Colts have a commanding victory over the Las Vegas Raiders and help their wildcard stock even more. What did you see from this game?
I mean, what I've seen is that the Raiders need to keep Derek Carr because he tried. He tried as much as he can. I'm talking about the guys is pulling at his feet. Every time he's stepping up to try to get out of the pocket to make a play for the receivers, it's somebody grabbing him, it's somebody pulling at him. He's still flipping the ball out, trying to get help, trying to make plays down the sideline. And Nelson Aguilar, was making these great catches out there, and it just wasn't enough. His defense wasn't doing it. I feel like the pass that he threw in the back of the end zone to Darren Waller, I feel like Darren should have did a little bit more with trying to snag that ball over that player who was off balance, especially when you're a bigger player than him. But did you see the pick though?
Yes, I did.
That pick was nasty. It shocked me for sure, and I'm more than sure it shocked him catching the ball like that. And there's no DB that would ever try to catch a one-handed play like that.
Yeah, we missed out. I forgot to mention that Xavier Howard of the Miami Dolphins had a crazy one-hit interception on Mahomes. That was just insane.
Yeah.
That was wild. So shout out to Xavier Howard. That was pretty cool. Next game, and you're going to hate this. The Washington football team against the San Francisco 49ers, 23-15 is the final score. Chase Young scores his first professional touchdown with a scoop and score off a fumble. Chris, take it away. I want to hear your thoughts on this game.
Oh man, yeah, man, it was a tough game, man. We look good offensively. We're throwing the ball. We look good. Like we were throwing the ball. He was making precision passes. The one time where I had an actual feeling of like, ooh, we might see something different is when I want to say it was 54 for the Washington team, Washington football team. He hit Juice, and Zeus was blocking for him. He knocked him on his ass and got the sack. And I'm like, damn. That looked bad, man. That looked bad. And, Juice is a legendary player in his own, legendary fullback in his own. But just seeing that, I just felt like that was like the real stick that broke the camel's back. And it reverberated throughout the rest of the team. And the offensive line just started getting overwhelmed with Chase Young and company on the D-line. And I've always said this, that Washington's D-line is actually really, really good. I've been giving them props this whole season. It's just that their record doesn't reflect it. But they do a great job. And, offense was subpar. I don't know. Washington's offense is subpar. It was just whatever. I really don't have much to say about this game because I'm really still steaming that we even lost.
I'll make one comment on this game. And also, to update you guys' records here, Washington moves to 6-7. And San Fran falls to 5-8. I want to comment on one thing you said, and that's it. You mentioned the Washington football team's defensive line. They are stout. Chase Young, Darren Payne, Jonathan Allen, and Montez Sweat. Ballers. They invested heavily through the draft the past 4 years to get that line there, and it's paid off. It showed this week here. San Francisco is known for the ability to run the ball down their opponent's throat. And it just didn't happen this week because of how dominant this defensive line is for Washington here. And it's impressive. They have a good base to build on here. I mean, and we've been shitting on them all year. The NFC East has been clowned as one of the worst divisions in football, as one of the worst of all time, etc. But hey, they've been winning consistently the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
as a division they have been. So say what you want.
And then they turn around and they got to play Seattle.
That's true.
That's a big game.
But the Giants already beat them.
Yeah.
So is Washington better than the Giants? We don't know. I mean, we really don't know. It's such a crowded division here. And the next game, I think, will speak volumes as to what potentially this division could look like in a couple of years here. Next thing we want to talk about, the Saints and the Eagles. Jalen Hurts wins his debut game against one of the better teams in the NFL, now sitting at 10-3. Philadelphia improves to 4-8-1. Look at the stats here. Jalen Hurts passing wasn't great. 17 of 30, 167 yards and a touchdown, but running the ball was super effective. 18 rushes, 106 yards, 5.9 yards a carry. he took what the defense gave him, and he did that very, very effectively. And that's the best way to characterize what happened on Sunday with Jalen Hurts. Was he an elite passer? No. Is that kind of scary? No. It's only his first game. Give him a break. He beat a very, very good football team. I don't really care how he did it because the Eagles team overall this year has been really bad, and the Saints have been pretty good. So anytime you can get a quality victory over a team that is going to be contending for a Super Bowl, that's a huge W in my book. That's a massive W. Jalen Hurts, congrats on your first W. I love seeing you play. I wanted to see the Patriots take a shot on you in the third round. If you slipped a little bit, you didn't slip. The Eagles jumped on you very, very early in the second round here. But congratulations. All congratulations are in due. Taysom Hill, to his credit, had an okay day. 28-38, 300 yards passing. Okay day. 2 touchdowns, but a pick ended up costing the game. They only lose by 3 points, 24-21. And Kamara added 50 yards on the ground for a touchdown as well. What were your thoughts on this game, and what does it mean, I guess, going forward for Philadelphia, as I guess they kind of still contend for a playoff spot?
Well, first off, I just want to say that I called this game. I said that the Eagles were going to win because that guy, number 2, was leading the charge. Anytime that you get a new change, especially from the quarterback position, the wheels get to turning. People get motivated a little bit more and want to win for this guy. It seems like everybody loves this guy, and that's just how it goes. Like, they just had that number, and hopefully they can carry it on to the next week and for the future with Jalen Hurts, because I like the guy. The guy is a great player, a great quarterback. We just have to see him throw a little bit more, which probably is going to happen next year when they start, building around him with plays.
And a full offseason never hurts.
Yeah, absolutely.
A normal offseason, not a COVID offseason, a normal offseason. I'm assuming as the starter, unless they want to have a camp battle with him and Carson Wentz. But if I was the Eagles, I would try to get Carson Wentz off my payroll as soon as humanly possible, because that is burning a hole in your pocket. He's taking up 30% of your salary cap. 30%.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, right? I was thinking about 2 players, actually, that I think will be gone this year. And Wentz is one of them, and Cam is the other.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's an iffy thing because he's hurt. But I was thinking of one place that should probably go in the running for either one of those dudes, which is the team that we just talked about, the Washington Redskins. I almost slipped up right there. The Washington football team. Washington football team should definitely consider bringing in either Carson Wentz or Cam Newton, no matter what you do in this draft coming up. It would just make all the sense in the world to have some guys, 2 guys who done it at the highest level that can compete and push your rookies to the next level if you do decide to bring in the quarterback.
I think Cam Newton makes a lot of sense. You have Ron Rivera there, who's just coaching Carolina for 10 plus years. Makes a lot of sense. They need a quarterback. Kyle Allen's probably not the solution there for them long term. It remains to be seen whether or not they give Dwayne Haskins another shot. I'm not sure if they do. I'm sure they'll get another shot in general in the NFL, but probably not with Washington.
Yeah.
So Cam Newton to Washington makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure about Wentz.
Time with him.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about Wentz for a trade because that's kind of iffy interdivisional trades there, but I guess we'll see. Next game, Atlanta and the Chargers here. Justin Herbert actually gets a W for once and improves to 4-9. 20-17 is the final score. Atlanta falls to 4-9. Barely, but you know what? It still counts in the record books. That's all I'm going to say. Justin Herbert on the day, 36 of 44. They're going to throw his arm off his first year. I swear to God. For 243 yards, a couple scores, and a pick. Average day for Justin Herbert. But Austin Eckler, the star of the day. 15 attempts, 79 yards, no scores, 5.3 yards a carry. He was also the team's leading receiver. 9 receptions, 67 yards on 9 targets. He caught every single ball thrown to him. Every single one. That's impressive. He's a mismatch out in the open there, out of the backfield. It's hard for a linebacker to keep up with his kind of agility, especially on these cut routes towards the middle of the field. But definitely impressive for sure to see Austin Eckler becoming that reliable weapon, that binky, if you will, for Justin Herbert moving forward. I can definitely see him being a staple of this offense for a long time. Similar to what James White was for this offense for the past 5-6 years for New England. Definitely could see him being a starting system for quite a while now. Atlanta's up 17-20, late in this game in the fourth. And Herbert kind of mounts a comeback after. We haven't really seen that before from Herbert. We've seen him lose, in the last couple of minutes of play. We haven't really seen him lead a charge here to win a football game in a while. So it's nice to see that clutch factor finally come into play for the young quarterback of the Oregon product. And it's nice to see Anthony Lynn maybe trying to save his job, because if he doesn't go on a kind of a winning streak towards the end of this year, he's out in LA. Yeah. And you do not want to see Justin Herbert with a rookie head coach going into his sophomore year. That just causes a lot of headaches for everyone involved. So, what do you think about this game?
I mean, it was a good game. I liked it. You could tell that the X factor was back in the game with Austin Eckler. Keenan Allen was just a go-to. Is a solid go-to receiver. But also Eckler is the X factor who changes the game for him. Gurley was out there running hard. He wanted to play against his team and make him look bad. It's a team that he was used to beating up on, and he tried his best. He did his thing. And let's talk about Gage. Did you see the throw that he had? I was like,
Justin Gage is an underrated guy.
40 to 50-yard throw.
His dad played in the NFL for a couple of years too. He wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, Justin Gage, solid player, was a crazy great throw. I love seeing him. It's becoming more and more normalized now. You notice that Jarvis Landry, Mohamed Sanu, Justin Gage, the list goes on and on here. Receivers are starting to throw the ball a lot more. There's a lot more trickery involved now than past years in the NFL.
Yeah, that's the good old, hey, we ain't got nothing else going for ourselves right now, so we need to try something new.
Hey, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola. I mean, the guys like that. It's kind of weird. Like it's kind of weird.
Much plays to go off of. That's what happens.
I also think it's starting to see the college game bleed into the NFL. You see it a lot with the read option stuff, the RPO stuff that's taken the league by storm the last couple of years here. It started kind of in 2012 when RG3 was drafted. The read option took over football for a year, and then it disappeared for like 2-3 years. Then it started to slowly come back, and then it really took full when the RPO started to fall out. And now you have pretty much a college-level game in the pro. A lot more reverses, a lot more jet sweeps, a lot more screens. So it's interesting to see the NFL start to bend its knee kind of towards college-level football, because they weren't getting the results they should have been getting from these athletes that were making the step to the next level. So will it continue to happen? Probably. Is it a good thing for the league? I would say, yeah, it makes it more exciting. I think these plays are more exciting for the game. I think it attracts more viewership. So, yeah, by all means, you should go for it.
Absolutely, especially when you're drafting players who are really good at it. You have to play towards their skills.
Exactly. And I think people are understanding, especially coaches are starting to understand now, that you can structure your offense around your players' strengths and not just by your system. A lot of coaches falter in the fact they try to set one system to be black and white no matter what circumstance, and you try to push players in to fit the puzzle when they're the wrong puzzle piece. And you've seen that a lot over the past couple of years here. All right, but next game, Packers-Lions, 31-24 is the final score. Aaron Rodgers gets another signature win against his buddy Matt Stafford on Sunday afternoon football here. They improve to, 10-3. And he had a pretty good game as well. 3 touchdowns in the air, 26-33, 290 yards. Also, the number one player, the number one receiver in football here is Devontae Adams. And he proved it again on Sunday. 7 receptions, 115 yards, and a touchdown on 10 targets. I mean, towards the red zone, this guy is near uncoverable. Like they can't do anything about it. And I would offer some solution, because I like to think of myself as a strategist in the game of football. But I have no answers for you at all. Absolutely no answers for you at all. Cover 2, man-to-man, nope. Zone, nope. Cover 3, nope. Cover 6, nope. Cover 4, invert, nope. Nothing will work, because he'll find a way to get open. He's one of the best receivers in the league to not only beat you in man, but to find soft spots in the zone. He's just so cerebral with it. Great footwork, great everything, great route running. This guy is an elite level talent, a scary talent. And the fact that he has Aaron Rodgers throwing the football makes it that much worse. That's what
I was just about to get to. When you have an elite level quarterback like the way you do, it would only behoove you to come back even better. So when you guys both get on the field, it's unstoppable, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. It's like they're connecting on a different wavelength right now, and it's proving it.
That was a big boy word there, behoove. I like that. Let's use that more. Behoove. I like that. Anyway, next game here, and this made me so happy. I was smiling ear to ear. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills, 26-15 is the final score. Pittsburgh, I said you were frauds 2 weeks ago as the number 1 seed, and I was goddamn right. Second loss in a row. In Buffalo, who I said this year would win the AFC East, you also said it as well, have really shown that they can compete with anyone in the NFL. And granted, I said Pittsburgh's a fraud. They're still not a bad football team. They're just fraudish at where they're ranked. That's why I want to make the distinction there. They're still not a bad football team. They're just not a top 3 team in the league. Buffalo, on the other hand, have a commanding victory against this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, the number 1 presumed team in the NFL. Josh Allen, 24 of 43, 238 yards, a couple scores and a touchdown, almost costing the game on that pick. But one guy I want to highlight here, Stephon Diggs, 10 receptions, 130 yards, and a touchdown. And I said this at the beginning of the year here, there was not a better pairing for Josh Allen than Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is the best deep ball getter in the league.
Even though everybody was hating on him.
They were hating on him, but no matter what you can try to hate on Stephon Diggs, whether it's attitude off the field, whether it's his ability to catch balls underneath, he can go get the football down the field.
Absolutely.
And what does Josh Allen do? Throws the ball 100 yards down the field on his knee. Absolutely. That's what he does. He has a rocket arm, and Stephon Diggs has a nose of the football, and that was the best combo possible for the young quarterback to have in Buffalo. And that's exactly what ended up happening.
No, it was a great game, man. I liked it. Just a lot of drops that was going on the Steelers side. They need to fix that. There's a lot of easy drops as well that would have converted third downs to first downs. Those are downs that you need to keep you on the field and to tire out the team, the defensive team and their mental. So, just cleaning that up and being able to catch the ball and hang on to the ball. There was a couple fumbles. This game probably would turn out in a different way, but it was still a good game nonetheless.
For sure, 100%. It was a good game for football fans in general. Ben Roethlisberger, shaky on the day with his run game. 21 of 37, 187 yards, 2 scores, also 2 picks. And the run game was not there in the slightest. James Conner, 10 carries, only 18 yards, 1.8 yards a carry. Was a tough day for the, I would say, star running back. And it was tough to see that in this offense, who they rely on consistently to set up Ben Roethlisberger's downfield passing. And they have a great receiving core down there in Pittsburgh. Obviously, they have one of the best scouting departments when it comes to receivers. Juju had a pretty good day, 6 receptions, 55 yards on a touchdown on 7 targets here. Deontay Johnson had 40 yards on 4 receptions. But they really blanketed Chase Claypool. They made sure he was taken out of the equation, out of the game plan down the field. That was a recipe that worked for them. Claypool, only 15 yards on 3 receptions. He was only targeted 6 times during the game. This is the blueprint to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Stop the run game and pick off Big Ben because he's not making mistakes. He's getting old. He's getting frail, and his weapons, while they're elite, can't always bail him out. That's what I say about this game.
I don't know about all that, but that I know how you do with your little statements. But Ben Roethlisberger, to me, it looked good. It's a testament to the drops that were going on. It's like, how can you? I'm looking at it as like, where else can I put the ball for you? Is how I'm looking at it. If you catch the ball, then this is a different game. This is a different story.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're right.
First down, teams staying on the field longer.
Yeah,
defense tired like that.
100%. Last game of the week here was Monday Night Football. The Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. A classic Monday Night Football showdown. We talked about it earlier, but it's good to touch back on this again here. A combined what? Let's add this up here. I'm bad at math. 35 points in the fourth quarter. Combined. 35. That is a classic shootout. Almost 50 points from both teams here.
Yes.
And I do feel bad for Baker Mayfield. I haven't really said that before, but Baker Mayfield, I feel bad for you, buddy. You did everything possible to win this football game for your team. You left the field with a touchdown lead, or not a touchdown lead, to tie the game with just a minute left. And then Lamar Jackson comes out of the locker room here, leads his team down the field in 40 seconds, and Justin Tucker hits the game-winning field goal. And then they have like a weird lateral thing at the end of the game. It ended up lasting 2.5 minutes, and then they lose the game on a safety. That's why they have 47 points. But Lamar overall, passing-wise, still wasn't great. Only 17 attempts, 11 completions, 163 yards and a touchdown. Also, Trace McSorley came in the game for 4 attempts. because Lamar had stomach cramps. Nah, he went to go take a shit, guys. That's what happens. That's what he pulled a Paul Pierce. He said he didn't pull a Paul Pierce, but he pulled a Paul Pierce. He went to the locker room to go to the bathroom, then came back out. But to his credit, he won the football game.
Yeah,
that's really all that matters. He got loosened up in the locker room, went back out there, and won the football game. It's funny. The first play after he came back out was a 4th down.
Yeah.
Rolled to the right, threw to Hollywood Brown down the field, and he caught it for a touchdown. Like that's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. That's crazy. But Lamar still, given he got the game winner there, and he gets a lot of credit for the game winner, only 163 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, still passing, not a great game. Rushing, had 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that saves your game a little bit, obviously, but it doesn't really dispel your running back rumors. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I've said this a lot. I'm not going to say it again because I'm getting sick of saying it myself. But Lamar, learn to pass effectively from the pocket, please. Just do it. Do me a favor. Just do it, please, because you will not be successful long term if you can't do that. You're 8-5 right now. You have a shot at the playoffs. I'm just saying, be careful, Lamar. Pass in the pocket. You will regret it if you don't.
I think this is planned, to be honest with you. There are already talks about is he a true quarterback coming into the league? That's always been a knock on him throughout his career. He had one really great season where people were starting to cool it with the doubting, but now it's like it's showing up again where it's are you going to be able to throw the ball or not? My dad loves him. I mean, I like him. I love him too. But when it comes down to being a quarterback, you have to be able to do everything, and that's throw the ball, run the ball, read the play. It's unfortunate that you have to do all this stuff, but that's a part of the game. That's what comes with being a quarterback. And he did a good job managing the game and getting him in position to win the game and coming back. Because that was another knock on him. Is he one of those players that can come back from a deficit? So he showed, he proved a lot of people wrong, but he also didn't prove that he could throw the ball, except for those last 2 plays, which I think not anybody. Nobody can. I don't think everybody can make the plays that he made, throwing the ball down the field off of the run, going to the right. But it's expected of him to do that. So we want to start seeing things that aren't expected of you.
For sure, I'm with you 100%. Baker Mayfield, on the other hand, had 3 touchdowns, almost 400 yards combined, rushing and passing on the ground, 28 to 47 passing, and he did almost everything possible to win this game for Cleveland. Absolutely. So I do feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. Receiving wise, Kareem Hunt led the Browns for 6 receptions for 77 yards and a touchdown, almost a game winner. I mean, the game tire. It was the game tire. It wasn't the game winner. It was
game tire, yeah.
Game tire. And then Nick Chubb had 17 carries for 82 yards and a couple touchdowns, 4.8 yards a carry. He's a beast too.
Beast.
Week 14 in the book for Stafford and Matthews here. If you guys didn't know, I'm actually 7 games ahead of Chris Matthews in the standings right now. Hoping to close the gap, finish the year with the higher win percentage here. I think I have 65% of the games I've picked correctly, and Chris has 62.
Well, what is it this week? Because I know for sure for a fact I picked a couple of games that was that you didn't pick that I won.
Well, we have to ask Kev. We'll have Kev get on that real quick, and we'll figure it out.
Kev, you should always pop up like a little. Well, no, not Kev, but our producers. They need to post up a little every time we talk about this, and our stat sheet needs to pop up right here on the screen and just pull up, boom, while we're talking.
That's a good idea.
Know what's really going on.
That's a good idea, actually. All right, Week 15 picks, rapid fire. Here we go. Chargers, Raiders, Thursday Night Football.
I'm going with the Raiders.
I'm going to go with the Chargers, but only because I'm selfish. I want to pick the Chargers because I want the Patriots to have a shot at the playoffs. That's it. Bills, Broncos. Bills. Panthers, Packers.
Packers.
49ers, Cowboys.
49ers.
Cowboys despite you. Patriots, Dolphins.
Patriots, Dolphins.
I'm going with the Patriots. I mean what I said. Patriots. I mean what I said. I think they're on the table. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You're gonna come up with this spiel about they're terrible. Rookie quarterbacks are terrible against.
They are.
I don't hear this shit.
They are. But okay. Seahawks, Washington Football Team.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Bears, Vikings.
I'm going with the Vikings.
I'll go with the Vikings too, but I don't trust Kirk to win that game for me.
I don't either, but I'm going with them.
Jags, Ravens.
Ravens.
Ravens. Bucks, Falcons.
Bucks.
Could be a mess up game for Tom Brady and company, but I'll go with the Bucks too.
It could. I mean, Falcons is playing decent right now.
True. Lions, Titans.
I'm going with Titans.
I'm gonna go with the Titans too. Texans, Colts.
Colts.
Eagles, Cardinals.
Cardinals. No. Eagles.
I kind of want to go with the Eagles too.
I'm going with the Eagles.
I'll go with Arizona just to be opposite.
They're riding high right now.
I'll go with Arizona to be opposite. Jets, Rams.
Rams.
Easy decision of my life. Rams. Chiefs, Saints. Great football game.
Chiefs,
and I don't have a question about it either.
And it's gonna be a high scoring game.
Unless Drew Brees is back, it's not even a question for me.
Yeah, it's not. Even if he is back, it's still not gonna be enough for him. But I do think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I do think that.
Yeah. Browns, Giants. Browns.
Yeah, I'm going with the Browns. No, I'm going with the Giants.
Giants. All right. Steelers, Bengals.
Steelers.
I really wish Joe Burrow was here. I really do. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh as well. That wraps up Week 15 through the eyes of Stafford and Matthews. Also, before we close out the show, I want to make sure we shout out our sponsor, Colin Covers. If you guys want any exactly, if you guys want any betting advice, any sports advice when it comes to different lines and different money lines and everything, check out at Colin Covers on Instagram. He is dedicated. He is smart. He's intelligent. And he has all the answers for you to win some money. So if you want to win some money, check out at Colin Covers on Instagram. We appreciate you being a sponsor for the show for the next few months, and we make sure that we show you out every single episode. So definitely, absolutely. Colin, appreciate it. Chris, any final thoughts?
Boston's Big Three website, man. Go check out our merch. You remember we got vacuums, we got lights, we got pictures, we got built-in chimneys. I'm just naming stuff that's going on in my house right now. Looking at it.
That's so good.
Hey, we got it all. Boston's Big Three. Go check it out, man. Go check out our website, man. Go check out Joe's merch. Go check out my merch, man. We're doing good in the merch game right now. I feel like we're
if you guys want a late Christmas present, get a Stafford and Matthews hoodie.
And then go follow Stafford and Matthews on Instagram and on Instagram, YouTube, and on Twitter. Whatever social media that you guys dedicate your lives to, go check it out. Follow us.
We need to plug that more because we need some more followers on that page, and we have good content, so you guys should follow it anyway, not just for our sake. Just do it. Anyway.
So, yeah, man, go check it out, man. Happy holidays to everybody. Christmas is coming up, man. Times are still hard for a lot of people out here with this pandemic, with losses of jobs, being able to help out. Actually, I'm going to be helping out one of my guys. He's a LA rapper, but he's trying to come up in the scene. He's doing a Christmas giveaway on a toy drive on December the 20th in Los Angeles. If you guys, anybody have any kids or anything like that, man, bring them out. I just posted a flyer not too long ago, so it'll be on the web. It'll be out there, and just come through, man, kick it, hang out, support the kids, support my boy.
There we go. Always good to be supporting the kids here. Also to our Jewish followers, happy Hanukkah. I know it started a couple days ago, so happy Hanukkah if you guys celebrate. Christmas is around the corner. I don't know when Kwanzaa is, but definitely around the corner, I'm sure, as well, all in the same kind of time period. But definitely, whatever you celebrate, we want to make sure we wish you a happy and safe holiday. What'd you get me for Christmas, Chris?
What did I get you for Christmas, bro? I got Stafford and Matthews alcohol bottles. I got Stafford and Matthews toys. I got Stafford and Matthews cheers, baby cheers. What else do you need, bro? I got everything for you.
I'll take that jersey.
Oh yeah, I got you. Hey, I got something special for you. Watch.
Okay, I'll wait for it.
Same line you hit me, bro. I got you.
All right.
I got something special for you. Watch.
All right, sounds good. All right. Stafford and Maddie's wrapping up for episode 14 now. Appreciate you guys listening. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Definitely, man. God bless.